And maybe the single action isn't quite as advantageous as I was thinking it would be. I feel like I felt that better. Actually measured out, they're probably about the same.
Yeah, it looks like from here.
I got 3 in the center and only 2 in the center with the Smith.
Okay, yeah.
So single action, I gotta give it to the
Yeah. Interesting comparison.
Interesting. Yeah. Science.
I know that we've been wanting to do this ever since you got the 25.
Yeah.
You know, and it's telling.
It's interesting. Yeah. 6.5 again.
So it's a 6.5 pound trigger.
6.5.
Action. Single action. 6.5. Whoa.
3 1/4. So somewhere between 3 and 3.5.
Yeah.
Versus, what did we say?
6.5.
Yeah.
Was the most common reading on
pretty
that.
Significant. So the Svelte Redhawk is coming in at 50 ounces.
Yeah.
Versus
50.7 ounces.
43.65 ounces. So that is a pretty significant. And then
Yes,
again,
it is.
We've got about 1.5 inch.
What do you got for barrel length on yours?
6.
Mine's a 7. I think mine's supposed to be 7.5.
Yeah,
it's 7.5.
About an inch and a half.
It's a 7.5.
Sight radius.
Yep.
Okay. So
Which helps.
Those are the differences.
Yeah.
Howdy y'all and welcome back. If you have come to this video looking for a super in-depth comparison between the Ruger Redhawk and the Smith & Wesson Model 25, you're probably going to be disappointed. So what this trip really was about was a few weeks back, a longtime Patreon supporter hit me up and was like, hey, I'm road tripping. I'm on my way back home to California, heading through from Tennessee, cutting through Texas, on my way to Big Bend. Can we meet up somewhere? And I was like, yes, absolutely. Don't bother coming to Houston. Let's meet somewhere cool. And he was actually heading to Austin. And I still needed to deliver the July 4th giveaway gun, the Smith Model 10 Snubnose, to its new owner, Howard, who lives in San Antonio. So we all agreed to meet in San Antonio. And that was the day that we were having there. You saw in the intro, Howard brought along some fun non-California compliant toys for Ian to get to shoot. Those are both 300 Blackout, by the way. And we had a wonderful, wonderful time. I say it over and over again on this channel. I'm in this for meeting like-minded gun owners and having actual experiences in meat space, right? In real live human interaction with human beings. The gun part is great and all, but it's the people that this really keep me doing this. And it was wonderful to meet you, Ian. And Howard, as always, of course, brother, thank you so much for your support. So, okay, to get to the point kind of the title of the video, right? First of all, that Model 25-5 is 1981, so it's way older than the Ruger, but it hasn't been shot nearly as much. So the double action trigger is super, super stiff, not broken in at all. Like, they both double actions go way off the gauge, so I couldn't actually tell what they were. I wasn't getting so scientific as to hang weights and like figure all that out, right? So they're just both super heavy. But to make the comparison more fair, or to put this in like a different context, right? If I was going to recommend that you, the viewer, go out and purchase one or the other of these two, let's assume that we were talking about a new production. I think they're on, Smith & Wesson's on like Model 25-13 or 15 now. I forget what the new ones are. Versus a new production Redhawk, right? Like that would be kind of more fair. You're still not going to get barrel length similarity because the Smiths come in 6-inch. You can get older ones that go all the way out to 8 3/4. I also have a 4-inch Model 25, but the new ones I think are all 6-inch. The Rugers come in different barrel lengths, but I don't think they do a 6-inch. I think it's like 5 or 4 5/8, and then skips to the 7.5. I could be wrong, but also the Ruger is stainless. The new production Smiths are carbon steel. I would recommend get the Ruger Redhawk. If we're talking new versus new, definitely, like, just without question, I would recommend the Ruger Redhawk. The stainless steel and just the absolute indestructibility of Ruger's wins for me. What was interesting about comparing these two is that even though the Smith had a much lighter single action trigger, it seemed with all three of us that the longer sight radius of the Redhawk delivered better groups for us. In double action, we were all very, very similar, and none of the groups were fantastic. But in the single action, that 6.5-pound single action Ruger trigger was winning for all of us. Howard, you saw in that intro clip there, is down a hand, so he's doing everything one-handed. But even with two hands on the gun, like just trying for nice clean groups, the Ruger did better. And I own two Smith Model 25s, and I still shot the Ruger better. So it really seemed like the longer sight radius was winning. But that longer sight radius comes with some trade-offs if you're trying to carry it around, or I don't think either of these are really a concealed carry option, but hiking, backpacking, maybe something like that. That big old long barrel is going to be a little bit of a nuisance. I really actually love my 4-inch Model 25. I think it's the perfect large frame revolver. So anyway, that's my takeaway. Get the Ruger. I love Smith & Wessons. I particularly love vintage Smith & Wessons, and most of the modern ones with the key locks just don't quite do it for me the way the old vintage ones do. But if it was my money and we're talking new versus new, I think the Redhawk is a better investment. So there you go. Thanks for sticking with me this long. And thank you again to Ian and Howard for a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. And until next time, be easy, y'all.